Hello, I'm Tommasina Olson, and I'm running for re-election to the Belmont Housing Authority. My husband John and I moved to Cushing Square in 1975. We've raised 4 children who attended the Belmont Public Schools, including the Butler and Winbrook Elementary. We have 3 grandchildren and 1 on the way. A little about my background. I have over 25 years in the financial services industry as a financial advisor, and presently serve as a compliance consultant to FINRA-approved firms. My volunteering in Belmont began in 1991 as a town meeting member and as Butler PTA co-chair for 2 years when my boys were young. I currently serve on the Council on Aging and the Housing Trust, where I've been an ardent supporter for senior town residents. Because of my commitment to education, I also serve on the Superintendent's Advisory Council for Belmont Community Education. Many of you know me as the founder and producer of the Payson Park Music Festival, as the second summer concert series in all of Massachusetts. It is now going into its 29th season. Payson Park produces 11 family and 4 children's concerts annually. 3 years ago, I was elected to the Belmont Housing Authority. The Belmont Housing Authority manages 3 properties in Belmont under the Department of Housing and Community Development. There are 2 senior housing properties, Sherman Gardens with 80 units and Waverly Oaks with 74 units. The 3rd property is Belmont Village, built in 1949 as family housing for returning veterans. These 100 units, half with 2 bedrooms, half with 3 bedrooms, were put under DHCD's purview a number of years back. The BHA receives $2 million, which is spread over these 254 units, for managing these properties. Ultimately, the funding comes from you, the taxpayer. It's clear that our housing infrastructure is aging and requires attention. When problems arise, residents complete a work order request. DHCD establishes our priorities. First, emergencies, then prepping vacant units for occupancy, 3rd, routine maintenance, and finally, preventative maintenance. I'm happy to say that I was involved in the completion of the much-delayed Sherman Garden Community Center handicap ramp, thanks to being notified by the senior citizens at Sherman Gardens. One of the board's significant accomplishments was the hiring of a very knowledgeable and competent executive director. Ms. Jacqueline Martin has been on board for over a year. During that time, there have been improvements in our maintenance request response time, our collections on back rents, and the revamping of personnel policies. I'm also very proud of initiating the installation of 4 little libraries for book sharing at the 3 properties. I believe that reading is an important foundation for education. I would like to encourage town residents to add their books to our little libraries. I'd also like to see greater ties to the educational programs with the Belmont Public Schools and the Belmont Public Library for our younger residents. Going forward, there is much more to accomplish, including whittling down our wait list and adding more units accessible to Belmont residents. Funding from a CPA grant initiated by the Housing Trust has permitted the development of that scope of work. I'd like to encourage a tenant organization and their creation of a website to share significant information from potlucks to critical issues. I'd like to continue my advocacy for the residents of Belmont Housing Authority using my ties to the town of Belmont. As a member of the Housing Authority, I hope to continue to meet the fiduciary challenges of the BHA. As importantly, I hope to foster a sense of community within the properties, as well as encourage a sense of community with all of the town of Belmont. I hope you will support me for Belmont Housing Authority on Tuesday, April 2nd. Thank you.